If your classic car is sitting on regular car insurance, I need you to stop what you're doing right now and watch this. Because if your car gets totaled tomorrow, there's a very good chance that you're not getting paid what you think you're going to be getting paid. And most guys don't find out about this until after it happens, which of course is way too late. Look, I spent a very long time in the world of finance. I know how to read contracts. I know how to read policy language. I'm going to tell you right now, the classic car insurance space is one of the most confusing and misunderstood things in the entire hobby. And the most dangerous part, most guys don't know they have the wrong coverage until after something happens, and then it's too late to fix it. So here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to break down the 3 different types of coverage that you can have on a classic car. Because yeah, there are 3, and they're not all created equal. And I'm going to tell you what the big company is offering you, and then what is in the actual fine print, what that can do to your payout. Also, I'm going to show you the insurance that I personally have been running on my Charger for almost 40 years. And at the end, I'm going to give you a checklist so you can figure out the right coverage for your car. The most important thing is you need to understand this, is that 3 types of auto insurance coverage when it comes to how your car gets valued in a total loss. 3 types, and they're not the same. Number 1, actual cash value. This is standard auto insurance. State Farm, Progressive, whatever the regular insurer is. This is what they put on your car that you use on the daily. This is how it works. Car gets totaled. They send an adjuster. Adjuster determines what the car is worth on that day of the accident, minus depreciation. Yeah, this is bad. Like for a 2022 truck, this is fine. Regular cars depreciate. That's the deal. But your classic is not a 2022 truck. No, your classic has been appreciating. Some of these cars have literally doubled in value in the last few years. So if you're carrying actual cash value on your Charger, your Barracuda, your Roadrunner, and something happens, you are at the mercy of what some adjuster with zero classic car knowledge decides what your car is worth today. And that is a terrible position to be in. And it happens way too frequently. Number 2, stated value. And this one is really sneaky, and it's used a lot in classic cars. A lot of guys think that stated value is they get the they're fully covered because they told the insurance company, this is what my car is worth when they set up the policy. And yes, you do tell them a number, but this is where most people don't read the fine print. You told them the car is worth $45,000. They run their own numbers. They say it's worth $32,000. They pay you $32,000. You thought you had $45,000 worth of coverage. You didn't. Stated value is better than nothing, but it is definitely not being fully covered for the value of your car. Number 3, agreed value. And this is what you want. Agreed value means that you and the insurance company now agree on the value of your car. I've done this with my BMW and my Charger. You do this up front with your insurance company and you agree on what the value of the vehicles are. They document it, and then in the event of a total loss, that is the check that you receive. No negotiating, no adjuster deciding if your numbers matching A body is worth the same value as a full-on rust bucket. They agree to the number, you get the number. This is what specialty insurers offer. Hagerty, Grundy, American Classics, and of course when I use J.C. Taylor. And honestly, it's the main reason these companies exist. Before we go into the individual companies and their different coverage, there is something that's pretty universal with them. A, your car can't be your daily driver. B, it needs to be in a secured location, a garage. I don't know of any policy that will cover a car that's always left outside. That's like a big thing for them. And also, most of these policies really want you to be using it for something that a classic car would be used for. Basically, pleasure cruises, showing off to your friends, kinds of things of that nature. So these are little caveats that are pretty universal with all the policies. Okay, now let's actually talk about who you should actually be using, because there are 4 names that come over and over again in the classic car world, and it's because they're not all the same thing. Hagerty is a giant name, Everybody knows Hagerty. They call their version guaranteed value. It's agreed value, same concept. They're generally good at it. Their valuation tools are pretty solid. And they know the classic car market. And Hagerty is the most flexible when it comes to how to actually use your car. Well, actually not totally. No hard mileage limits like some others. They work with modified cars. And if it's not a total loss, Hagerty will actually help you track down parts from and a qualified shop. That's the real service that people don't even know they offer. The downside, Hagerty is by far the most expensive. And I've seen real quotes where Hagerty wanted double what I am currently paying for my car insurance on my classic cars. So you end up really paying for that extra flexibility and concierge service. Grundy, and I want to be accurate here because there's a lot of misinformation floating around about these guys. Grundy has been in the space since 1947, the same year as J.C. Taylor. Now, they built their reputation on agreed value coverage, and here's something a lot of people get wrong. Grundy offers unlimited miles for pleasure driving. No mileage caps. They actually say on their website, we don't keep track of your miles. And you can even drive it to work to show it off to your friends every once in a while. And that's straight from their policy language. Now, what they do require, and this is from the other ones, is that your classic car is not your daily. We need a separate regular use vehicle for everyday use. But that's normal. And when your car is at home, it needs to be in an enclosed locked garage like the other guys also. Those are real restrictions, not some tight list of approval uses. Now, here's what makes Grundy pretty interesting from a value standpoint. No deductible in most states. Full agreed value with no depreciation ever. Not in 1 year, not in 5 years, not in 10 years. As long as you maintain the policy. They also include trip interruption, towing reimbursement, spare parts coverage, and inflation guard. So they'll adjust the agreed value upward to keep pace with the market. Of course, your rates go up with that, but hey, they're looking out for you. And they are the largest insurance of hot rods in the country. So if your Mopar has been modified, Grundy already knows the value on that. That's not a problem for them. The price difference versus Hagerty is significant. We're talking potentially half the cost or less for the same agreed value. If your car has a permanent home in your garage and you're not using it as a daily driver, Grundy is absolutely worth getting a quote, just like the other guys. Now, American Collectors. American Collectors is a solid insurance company. It doesn't get talked about a lot. Actually, they just bought, or they're just in the same, they're in the same umbrella as J.C. Taylor now. There's a difference with them. They have a good agreed value, a good claims reputation, and they have an inflation guard feature. Okay, that's kind of cool. They automatically adjust the agreed value upward up to 6% a year. So you're not stuck at the number you was set 3 years ago on a car that's gone up significantly in value since then. Downside is that your insurance goes up 6%, just saying. And then there's J.C. Taylor. I can tell you up front, this is the one I actually use on my car, and that was loud. J.C. Taylor has been around since 1947. They were the original go-to insurer for car clubs and shows, and they've been the official sponsor of the Antique Automobile Club of America for over 60 years. And these guys are not newcomers to the insurance space. And they have been doing agreed value for the longest time. They do a full agreed value, no depreciation nonsense. They also have automatic coverage when you add a vehicle to your collection. You know, if you have more than one vehicle, they give you a multi-car discount. Actually, I have my '89 BMW with them too. That is old enough, and I've had no issue getting insurance for that car. And my bill to go down a little bit, not much. And here's the one thing that really has kept me with J.C. Taylor, it's the price. And I'm not guessing here, this is personal experience. I have actually quoted other insurance companies every year to see if I'm getting a better deal. J.C. Taylor is so much less that I can take that extra money and actually put it away for a rainy day. Now, full transparency here. J.C. Taylor is going to pay her claim. You're going to get a check. What they don't do is the concierge service that Hagerty does. So if you have damage to your car, you're going to be sourcing out the parts. But I mean, you should know where parts are for your classic car. If you want to have hand holding, Hagerty comes at that price. But if you're, capable car guy, like I said, and you know where stuff is, that's okay. You can deal with JC Taylor. You know shops in your area. You know where to find replacement parts for your car. And JC Taylor does give you that solid agreed value protection at a price that is hard to argue with. My honest take, get a quote from 04. They can do it online. It's really quick. And you can actually see what restrictions that they give you with these quotes, because price is not the only number that matters, but it kind of does matter. When it's not about money, it's about the money. All right, the fine print. Let me give you 3 things that bite people most often. Number 1, usage restrictions. This used to be a huge thing in the classic car world. Everybody did it. But even with people with the flexible policies, there are language that defines usage for very specifically. Pleasure driving, exhibition, car shows. Pull out the policy now. Not the summary page, the actual policy. And find out exactly what you're covered for. Because if your car is not covered the way you're actually using it, you have a giant coverage gap. Ooh, mileage limits. Some policies give you 2,500 miles a year. Some cap you at 5,000. Hagerty has no limits. Neither does JC Taylor. Know what your cap is, and know what happens when you go over it. Because if you hit your limit in October and there's a fender bender in November, that could be a very bad spot. 3, this is the big one for Mopar guys. Modifications and matching numbers. If your car has been modified in any way, engine swap, upgraded brakes, aftermarket, anything, you need to make sure your policy covers the car as it is, as it actually sits, not as it left the factory. Some policies need documentation proof of modifications. Some companies won't even write a policy on a car that has been modified without an independent appraisal. That's huge. And on the flip side, if you have a numbers matching car, if you got the documentation to prove it, make sure that is agreed in your actual agreed value. I actually went through this year with my Charger because sunroof cars are very thinly traded, and we had to have a little going back and forth to get a value for the car, because there hasn't been a 72 sold in like 2 years. So that we know of. You need to do this stuff, because if your insurance doesn't recognize that you are leaving money on the table, and that's money that in case it gets damaged, they're not going to pay you. I mean, you can truly go get an appraisal, a formal documented appraisal on someone that actually knows Mopars, and make sure they actually know Mopars, and then, update it when the value moves, because this stuff really matters. Hey, real quick. If this is useful to you in any way, share it. Seriously, throw it in your car club Facebook group, on a forum, wherever your people hang out. I talk to car guys all the time who don't know anything about this. And guys, they find out the hard way after a total loss or severe damage to their car. That's a rough day. This video can help prevent that for somebody. Seriously. And now let's kind of wrap this up. All right. Here's exactly what I want you to do this week, literally this week. 1, find your policy. That's important. Not the little card in the glove box, the actual documents that they sent you in the big envelope. And look through 3 things: the valuation type, actual cash value, stated value, agreed value, your use restrictions, and your mileage restrictions. 2, if you're on a regular policy or stated value, get collected car quotes. Hagerty, Grundy, and American Collectors, and JC Taylor. Get all 4. Compare them against how you actually use your car. Don't pick on price alone. And honestly, anything over 25 years old or anything that's special, it's a specialty car. I'm leaving Vipers of the early 2000s. Those can get this type of insurance. Trust me, look into this. 3, if your car has gone up in value, like most of them have, because it's and if you've done significant work to it, or if you've never had a formal appraisal, get one. There are Mopar-specific appraisers who know how these things are in the market today. It doesn't have to be that expensive. Probably, it's like a few $100 in mileage, and it can make a major difference on how you got paid if something terrible happens. 4, Tell someone, your spouse, your kid, whoever's going to be dealing with this if something happens to you. Make sure you know where the policy is, what the agreed value is, and what to do. This stuff matters at the worst possible moment. That is not the time to be figuring it out for the first time. Have a plan. Look, I know that insurance is not the most exciting topic in the classic car hobby, but it might be one of the most important. You've got too much time, too much money, and too much of yourself in these cars to get the wrong coverage. Drop a comment below and tell me who you're insured with. Hagerty, Grundy, American Collectors, J.C. Taylor, or someone else. And whether you actually read your coverage usage restrictions. A lot of guys haven't, and I want to know. Please share this one, seriously. Put it wherever your car people are. This is the kind of video that generally help people before they need it. If you have something fun to drive and something cool, take it out with good insurance, because you're going to make someone's day. And I'll catch you in the next one.